Today we're going to be talking about building your money tree, which is an exciting thing to me because it's close, near and dear to my heart. You know, growing up and working in business, one of the things that I had learned and really heard was that your database or your money tree would determine the level of income that you make. And so this week we're going to be talking about how to build your money tree. As we get started, what I want to make sure is that if you have comments or thoughts, post them down below. We'd love to get your feedback. If there are things you're doing that you know work, let us know. Share it with others. This is certainly an organic process. Passionate about business and helping you grow yours. So the first thing to know whenever you're building your money tree is understand the importance of a database. A database is absolutely critical to your success. The importance of building your database, it's like setting gold coins in a jar. At the beginning, there's not a whole lot in it, but what happens is the more you put in a little at a time, it begins to overflow, and eventually, whether it's 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, your little coins will overflow in your pot of gold. You know, once you're organized, this will become your lifeline. It's amazing. I've heard many experts say that you're only as good as your database, and you want to keep it so that no matter how long it's been, you're able to know exactly what's going on in the lives of your clients and your people. Number two is going to determine what type of CRM that you're going to use, or customer relationship manager. You know, whether it's Outlook, whether it's ACT, whether it's Top Producer. Decide what type of CRM you're going to use. What do you feel comfortable with? What's good for your industry? What's good or what has been created to help people just like you in the situation and circumstance that you're in currently? So number one, it's understand the importance of a database. Number two, it's understand or determine what type of CRM you're going to use personally and best fits your personality. And number three, build your money tree one branch at a time. One name at a time, one address at a time, one phone number, one email, one birthday, one closed client at a time. You know, one of the things that we do in our office is this. Every time somebody calls, we literally ask them for their name. We ask them for a good callback phone number if we were to be disconnected. We ask for their address, and we tell them how important birthdays are for us. And so we're able, typically 9 times out of 10, to get a name, phone number, address, and their birthday, and email if they're willing to give it to us. And so what we do is we really try to warm them up at the front end of a phone call, because we know this, that over the last 5 years I've been able to grow the database. We have nearly 3,505 names in my database, and that may or may not sound like a lot of people, but what happens is we're just creating our money tree, and I know that that's more of a picture. I'm not trying to be coarse or callous, but it's really understanding that when somebody calls, I'm able to say, hey, well, how are the kids? How is this going? And how's that going? And, oh yeah, I remember your parents moved out of town, and oh, you've got 2 dogs, and you've got 3 kids, and you bought a second home out on the beach. And whether we financed it or not, people want to know that they're important. They want to know that you care. John Maxwell, one of my favorite authors, I've been listening to him since I was in my teenage years, talks about the rule of 5. And he says, what are the 3 to 5 things that I can do on a daily basis that will allow me to make progress towards my desired outcome? Let me repeat that to you. John Maxwell says, what are the 3 to 5 things I can do on a daily basis that will allow me to make progress towards my desired outcome? And I have to tell you, I believe with everything in me that one of those is keeping in touch in relationships and knowing about your clients, knowing about your friends, knowing about your family. That way, every day people know that you're passionate about them. It's not just the business that you're building. You know, here's the thing, in our mortgage company, we have the opportunity to touch lives one mortgage at a time. It doesn't matter if it's widgets or if it's a friend of mine has a valve company. It doesn't matter if it's a concrete company. It doesn't matter what you do as a real estate agent, as a title agent, as a loan officer or an originator. It's about making a difference in the lives of the people you come into contact with every day. And your database is a key to that. And so keep in mind that build your money tree one branch at a time. Before we move to the last 2 points, I want to make sure and remind you to check out the docs and links section below for any helpful information. Become a friend of ours on Facebook. You can see it right now. It's the Kyle's team. We're adding valuable resource on a daily basis and content to help you grow your business. We're passionate about helping you grow your business. Check out Jim's project, the Haiti project, where he spent 7 days in Haiti. Would love for you to be with us on that journey. Now, number 4 is going to be capture their information on the very first phone call. I know I briefly touched on it or talked about it, but it's absolutely important. Every time somebody calls, whether you know them, you don't know them, they were referred, they found you on the internet, capture their information. Because if you have their information, then you can follow up, and it's not to be a pest, it's not to give them information they don't want or need, it's just to make sure that you have the ability to follow up to make sure they got what they need from you and the reason why they called you to begin with. So number 4, capture their contact information on the first phone call. Number 5, people appreciate the fact that you care enough to remember the details. Let me give you a quick example of this. In the mortgage business, I don't get the opportunity to do everyone's loan. And there are times whenever we're competing against new construction, or there are times where we just weren't able to actually help them provide financing and they use someone else. Unfortunate, hate it. We'd love the opportunity to work with them, but you know what we've done? Now that we're following up on our 5th year of nurturing our database, there are people that we actually didn't get their loan 3 and 4 years ago, but we continue to keep in touch with them. When we knew they had a property address, we went ahead and updated their property address, kept sending them birthday cards. We sent them follow-up, our Christmas card that goes out in December of each year. And so what happened was, this last year, 12 months ago, I was receiving phone calls saying, you did my mortgage 3 and 4 years ago, and we never did their mortgage. But they just felt like we did, because even though we didn't capture their business, we continue to follow up and treat them just like family. So people appreciate the fact that you care enough to remember the details. Whether you got the business or not isn't the key. It's not what's important. It's that we love people. And in loving people, we continue to follow up. And we make sure that, see, we know we're the best. You know you're the best at what you do, and when you know that, you're passionate about working with great people. And so when you care enough to know the details, they're going to care enough to come back to you as the professional. That's it for this week, and next week join us as we talk about how to build your money tree part 2, creating simple follow-up systems that can be easily replicated to touch your clients and to build your business.